Hello. How are we today? I hope we're doing good. This is how I do it. Today we're going to be talking about I am going to show you. Ta-da-da-da, 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 ta-da-da, ta-da-da. Scraps. Ta-ta-ta-da-da-da-da. I am showing you I think all of my scraps, actually. I'm almost sure all of my scraps are here. Let me bring the camera back up. Today we're talking about my scraps. Yeah, all of them. And I'm not talking just those. I'm talking about even these. These are the little pieces, but sometimes, things happen. Anyways, let me tell you what I'm going to be doing. As you can see, Benny, Benny was fairly organized. Let me show you him a little bit more. As you can see, Benny has, take this one out of the way. Benny has almost everything coordinated at scraps, but by colors. So you see here, these are mostly the blacks. Sorry, I'm going to get sneezy because there's a lot of fabric in here. These are the purples. I've got two purples, actually. Really going to have to make something with purple. And so on and so forth. I've got reds, I've got browns, I've got whites, I've got greens. Those are the ones that are in Benny. Coming back. Hello. But I also have little packets, like you see this one. This one has strips. Now, this little packet was curated for me, but I didn't take anything out. I just left it in there, and it's there. This are several projects that when I started, I thought I was going to do. I have to go through this one. Haven't touched it. It's just in a bag. Anything in the bag went into Benny. I love this part of the scrap bag. Look how pretty. There's a lot of blacks in here. Anyway, so just showing you that you see a lot of different types of scraps. Again, these are real scraps. There's no rhyme or reason. There are no measurements. They're just pieces of fabric. Anything bigger than an inch and a half has gone into there. Now, I do have this little bag. Now, this little bag has tumbler blocks. All of these are tumbler blocks. And what I do is, like, when I have some fabric left over and I have nothing to do, I'll pull out my AccuQuilt and start cutting. So I had this time of my life where I really liked the tumbler blocks, and I just started cutting tumbler blocks. So I have a little bag. I have a quilt in here. I'll put it that way. And then I have scraps and things my friends have given me, and you've all seen the famous Mary roll, which is here, and another Mary roll, which is for binding. Another Mary roll. Mary, I'm giving you a lot of kudos here. This is another Mary roll. But then I also have my orphan blocks, which, let me show you down here. Here we go. These are my orphan blocks that Mary has given to me, and I will continue to collect because I love orphan blocks. But then I have this. Now, this is the bag with the 2.5 inch. We said that we were going to call these patches. But then we have this little bag. Now, this little bag, let me bring it back up to my face so you can see me. I didn't know I had this little bag. This little bag, oh yeah, this is the Mitzi bag. Here's a lot of stuff that Mitzi gave me. So I have to sort through that to put them in color. But as I was going through Benny, I found this bag. Now, this bag has a little bit of everything. And I don't know why, but there's a lot of 2.5 inch little patches in here that I absolutely love. So I have to go through it. But I'm also seeing orphan, half square triangles. I look at this one. This was an experiment I did with strips and my ruler. I'm trying to look in the camera to see how it looks. It's really pretty fabric. It's absolutely gorgeous fabric. So again, I don't throw anything away, people. I avoid it at all costs. Here are a bunch of smaller than 2.5, but bigger than 1.5. So I am looking at, see, cute little black in it. Anyway, I've been watching a lot of videos and a lot of creators that talk about, this is, I remember, this is the experiment of Storm at Sea. Yeah, that's old. That's a really old patch. Here's another one. Oh, this is pretty though. This is what was left over from my other quilt. I've been looking through all of my scraps and watching different creators and how they create content. Let's come down here and sit here, just sitting on my bed with me. How they create content, the kind of things they do. But my problem, not my problem, my issue is I don't like throwing fabric away. I really don't. I've never liked throwing away fabric. It makes me sad to throw away fabric. I'm trying to bring in the camera a little bit to me. So give me a well, it's not coming. Anyway, what I'm thinking of doing is I have some, I think. I have some batting that I had pre-cut for a quilt and I decided against it, so I have it cut. What I'm planning on doing is I'm planning on anything that I can put on that piece of batting, of each little batting panel. I'm going to put on, and then I'm going to do a quilt as you go with scraps. With even the smallest pieces that come out of, where'd it go now? Hold on a second. Even the small pieces that I have in here, not the teensy ones. But see, like I threw this in here. This should never have been thrown in here. I don't know why that's in there. Little strips. Like I threw this strip away. But there are pieces here that I could put on that. So it's going to turn into, see what I mean? It'll probably turn into, what do they call that? They call that, it's not scrappy. It's crumb quilting. See, I remember the word. I think I'm going to do some crumb quilting because I can't. It hurts me to throw fabric away. And I'm not joking. See, like, I put this in here because it's less than 1.5 inches. But I could use this in crumb quilting. I could get some good pieces out of there. So today, what I plan on doing is I plan on going through this, checking out what pieces I can salvage. See, here's one I can salvage. What pieces I can salvage from this triangle. From this little bucket, because this is my bucket. And what brought me to this realization is I made a table runner that I've made in the past that has little hearts. And to make the patchwork in the hearts, you're literally sewing 1.5-inch strips together and then trimming them. So when you're looking at it, it turns into even, it's like a 3/4 inch little teensy weensy. Wait a minute, I have one in here. Very tiny patchwork. Here, let me show you. That's how tiny that patchwork is. And I made those little hearts, and they came out so cute and adorable that I thought, you know what? If this is my 3rd attempt making that quilt, and this is the best one I've made. So practice has helped me work with very tiny piecing. Is it easy? No. Does it take time? Yes. Am I going to do it? Yep. I'm going to do it in times that I don't want to work on anything else. Because we all go through this. When we're doing quilts, we're putting patches together. We are doing patchwork. And we are piecing. We're on a specific project. Sometimes we get bored because you're doing the same thing. You're repeating and repeating and repeating it. And it gets boring, people. For those of you that are not quilters, believe me, there are times that quilting gets boring because you're doing the same thing. So that's why many of us, many quilters, many DIYers. You have 3 or 4 different projects going at the same time, because when you get bored with one, you'll do the other one. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through this bucket and I'm going to pull out all the pieces that I can sew together. Oh, I can't do this. Is a salvage. Try not to use salvage, people, unless, you're willing to go through it. I can salvage some pieces from here. I'm going to go through this bucket. I'm going to take out everything I can save. And see, there's a little strip right there. I'm going to save it. I'm going to put it somewhere. And then I am going to have my batting, my pre-cut batting in it. And I'm going to try to see what I can make. See, it's like, this is what I throw in here. These are squiggles. Now, there are some people that can take these squiggles and put it on a double-sided interfacing thingamajiggy. My words are not coming to me today. And iron it on and then sew over it. It looks really cool. For that, right now, I don't have any patience. See, this is a big strip. I'm talking to you as I'm fishing. So it's like, okay, that, not now. It's not something I would do now. You never know what I might do in the future. Look. And, see, little triangles. So, yeah, crumb quilting. No, this is too tiny. These are good strips. Crumb quilting is something I might look at into the future. See? This is when I'm cutting and trying to hurry up. Get up. But for right now, anybody wants this, let me know and I'll send them to you. I'm looking at it for, I mix it up with stuffing when I'm doing stuff things. And that way I don't like throwing away fabric. It makes me sad. It just does. Throwing away something that could be used makes me sad. So using it in bedding for animals or in stuffed animals, anything. Ooh, this is a good chunk. Why did that go in there? I don't know. Ooh, there's more. And as you can see, I use a lot of white. What the heck? This probably fell because these are good pieces. So I probably cut them up and then didn't realize that they fell off my table because there's chunks of them, which means I cut a lot. And then I probably had to recut. My brain works, people. My brain works are not working sometimes. A lot of white. I did a lot of work with white. See, look at this. I wonder where this is. I'm trying to think. Because this is perfect for my snowball quilts. For the lollipop quilt that I'm going to be working on. Oh. Yeah, remember, like in that little heart that I made, and I might make some more. The way you snowball it so it'll look like a heart, it was 1-inch pieces. Squared. So I'll probably get some from there. Yeah, see, this is even cracked from the amount of times that I work on it. It's just, I want to make sure that good pieces of fabric don't go to waste. There are some batting strips in here that are just too messed up that I cannot use because I've Franken-batted them so many times that, yeah. People, I do Franken-batting for a lot of things, and I use everything I can. Well, there's not much left in here that I can see. So I think I'm going to leave it alone right now because, again, I very rarely throw anything in here worth anything. But sometimes things fall off the grid. Here's another. How did these get in here? Don't know. But sometimes when I'm working, I start doing things. Things fall off my table. I don't pick them up immediately, and they keep moving. And moving and moving. Ooh, this is a good long strip. And it is not. Ooh, yes. Yes. See, I found one. And I'm talking to myself and to you guys. It's just, I'm doing it. And while I'm doing it, if I can talk, I won't lose the desire to continue. If I turn off the camera, I try to do something else, I'll forget. And these will pass into eternity, and I don't want that to happen. Because there's some good strips in here. I can get some good strips out of that one. So yeah, look, if you don't like scraps, and there are people that don't, and I'm not criticizing you. I don't want anyone to think that I am holier than thou. I'm not. I'm just saying some people like scraps, others don't. Some people like using anything they can find, others don't. And kudos to you. You do you, boo. You do you. Me, I love scraps. Make me happy. And I'm going to use as much as I can of what I have. And there are people out there that love them. My Scraptastic quilt already has a buyer. So that... And since it was made of scraps, it's affordable. All I'm going to charge on that is the batting. Because the backing, and I'm thinking about doing it this way. I might not do it on that one, but on the next one. I'm thinking of using those quilt as you go batting blocks that I'm going to make as the backing on the scrappy quilt. I think it would go beautifully. So I have to see. I have to see if I can do it. Maybe not on this one, but that pattern that Heather created, which I adore, is a fabulous scrap buster. And it doesn't need any rhyme or reason. It just is what it is. So I can make a lot of them like that. And just like right now, I have a bag full of 2.5-inch squares and some more that I found. And just keep piecing and putting them together because I already know the layout up to now. So I can piece and put them away, piece and put them away. And it's great for also scrap busting my orphan blocks. So it works for everything. It works to get quilts out into the world, do work that I want to do, and the kind of work that makes me happy, and not use up precious material, which is getting super expensive. Use up expensive material in making a scrap quilt. That way, the fabric lines that I have, the very little, I have what? Two fat quarter bundles. Bundles, expensive ones. I'm not talking Walmart. 2 and 1 layer cake. I don't want to touch those yet. Those have to be a special project. And the other stuff that I have already has ideas. So I don't want to touch those for scrappies. Whatever's left over from those will come into this bin. So I'm trying to organize my brain so that I can work on scraps a couple of days of the week and on other projects other days of the week. And that way I'll get more done and my brain organizes itself. I don't know if that makes sense. Because again, my brain is always in chaos. So since I don't have that outlet that I used to have as an HR manager, because to be an HR manager, you have to know chaos. It's just that simple. So since I am retired, I need an outlet for my chaotic brain. This helps. This truly does help. It keeps my brain in that chaos that gives me joy, but at the same time focused. I just now want a structure. What am I going to do next year? So I am working on a little, let's say, a project planner that will be very open to change during the year. And what I'm going to do is every month, and this is thank you, Donna, from Handmade by Ying with Donna. Donna helped me structure my brain that way. That's why I got so many projects done this year. 1 project a month. So right now, that's what I'm looking at. I'll have 1 project that might take more than a month. So I'll probably have 2 or 3 of those in the year. I'll have a project a month, and it could be something simple. It could be something a little bit more elaborate. Then I'll have 1 huge project for the year. Things to that nature. I'm working out the schedule, and as soon as I have it, I will show you all, and I will post it on my page for the Renegades and on my Facebook page, so you can all keep me to it. You know, if you see me slacking, snap me back into attention and see if I can get on it. I've been thinking about it seriously and it really helps. And that's why I've been thinking about the scraps. I like having them organized. I like knowing what I have. So having this scrap pile organized, many scrap quilts that I have seen out there that are done in colorways. Like I have enough purple that I can make a really pretty purple quilt without touching my stash, just using the scraps that I have. So that's one. Another thing that I've been looking at is like an ombre. I can do it from one color to another. I've seen a couple of patterns that would free patterns, by the way, that would go really well with that. And again, I look at my stash and I go, I can do that with what I've got. So it's things that I look at now. That's what you have to do. Once or twice a year, people, go in, organize your fabrics, organize your scrap piles, organize your fat quarters, organize so you know what you got. Because we forget, especially if we're buyers, we go crazy and we don't know what we have because we'll stash it away and forget we had it. I basically know everything I have in this room. I have to do some little bit of organization because there's some character fabric that has to go to the character fabric stash and some colored fabric that has to go into their colors. Plus I'm talking to myself and I do that with the camera on. It's just, you do it for yourself. Find what makes sense to you. This has helped me out a lot. This box, and you can see how huge it is. This box, and the first time I got together and got my stash, most of my scraps organized, it really helped me. So Benny is my love. Benny and I go way back. Benny's got some more bags coming to him, but he's accessible. So I'm able to go in and pull and put. And I don't go in every month, and I don't go every other month. I go in every 3 months, I think. This is the second time in 6 months that I've been in Benny. I took out some stuff and gave them away. And the rest of them is in here. So, yeah, it's good. Now I have to go through that bag and organize it. Because there's stuff in that bag that I had forgotten I had. So now I'm going to go in, put them in the bags, respective bags per color, and keep on going. I've got some stuff that I've been working on, and I'm going to go back and work on them. But I've got orphan blocks up the ink, so I gotta see what I can make with my orphan blocks. I got stuff in my head, people. I gotta move. I got a couple of good years left. I gotta move. So anyway, this is how I do it. Mostly what I do is ramble on. But y'all love me anyway. And I love you. So if you have scraps out there, and this is not a joke. If you have scraps you don't want, y'all know my address. Just go into my description box or send me an email and I'll give you my address. I don't say no to scraps. Okay, I just don't. As long as they're good quality, 100% cotton, please. I don't care where they're from, as long as they're 100% cotton. That's it. That's my only requirement. No rayon, no polyester blends, please. No polyester blends. Even if they're cute, no polyester blends. And that's it. I'm good with anything. I love scraps. I just do. They just give me joy. So if you want to get rid of your scraps because you don't want to look at them, you can send them my way. I will continue to make my scrappy quilts. Y'all be good. God bless. And remember, and I got to look over here because I'm doing this by myself, being perfect is always being perfectly loved.